All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Portland State Sailors Dynasty here on College Football 25. Now, in this episode, we are matching up against Vanderbilt. Just a quick recap of the last episode. We did secure Nick Burt, the right guard out of Columbus, Ohio. He is a little bit smaller, definitely someone we could look at playing at center instead. I think that he's obviously going to be a really good contribution to the roster. Already comes in as an insanely good pass blocker, something this roster definitely lacks, and probably is going to be a starter right away. In addition, obviously, you know the drill: Samuel Dogby, Capino, Amani Stick, Jasmine, Robeson, Kesey. We've got Robert Stick, Garrett Wendt, Jamario Bruce, Brian Montanez, all three-star gems. Pat Draper, not a gem, but still a pretty solid prospect. And in the last episode, we threw a bunch of our points on Coco Ringo and Doug Adai. That was the remaining that we had left over, and we'll see in the next week how those points all impact. Now, in terms of our spot in the conference, while this isn't going to be a conference game, I just figured it was worth taking a look at. We are still ahead of North Texas, who we beat earlier in the year, but we're behind the likes of Tulsa, UAB, East Carolina, all teams that defeated us earlier in the year. Going down to the Heisman watch, I think I want to see and just make sure. Xander Stone now sitting at 3. I guess he was sitting at 3 last time. Just a dual threat, receiving back. You know, he does it all on the field. He had a pretty good highlight last game, which if you didn't see that game, we played Navy. Go check that out. Unfortunately, Jalen Milroe and Dylan Gabriel are both having incredible years. I don't think that Xander Stone is in any way going to have a better season than either of those guys, but it is worth noting that he's still in Heisman watch. You know, he's in the territory there. As far as the season stats, I kind of went over it already, but yeah, just a ton of passing, a ton of running. I mean, Xander Stone is easily going to break 1,500 on the year. We've got 2 games left with Vanderbilt and UConn. Xander Stone also has a ton of yards through the air. We're just going to keep feeding the beast, you know, and we're going to see if we can't get him a Heisman. I am going to look at the Vanderbilt roster, but before I do that, I do just want to highlight Xander Stone. He's a 77 overall currently, and he's only a sophomore, which is pretty cool. He also has star development trait. Apparently was a former 4-star running back. I don't know. But look at his skill caps. I mean, he only has 1 skill cap on route running, and the rest, it looks like he can improve a ton. With star, obviously it's not elite, but it's the second fastest development trait, and after a crazy year that he's having, you have to think that he's going to go up a ton in the offseason. Just another storyline I wanted to look at, just because Xander Stone may not look like a high overall right now, but I can promise you in the offseason he is going to take a big leap. And Vanderbilt is obviously an 81 overall, 82 defense, and yeah, they're way more talented than us. CJ Taylor is their best player by a lot. Definitely the best player on the field overall-wise. The senior has 88 speed, 90 excel. Definitely a good ball-hawking safety. Langston Patterson is going to be hurt and miss this game, so they're going to miss his impact greatly. It's just a lot of average players. Junior Sherrill, the sophomore receiver, is definitely someone we should look out for. The freshman safety, Dante Carter, has all the speed you need to stay with our players. Trudell Berry as well. They've got a good, well-rounded roster, that's what I would say. Nate Johnson, obviously the leader. He's got 95 speed, and yeah, not someone we want to let get loose. 88 throw power is not too bad, but it's really the 91 change of direction, the 92 agility. You know, he's got good juke move. He's got decent break sack. He can throw it on the run. He's not great deep. I wouldn't really want to give him anything open, though. Obviously, he's just an athlete. 97 stamina, 95 speed and excel. I mean, he's just phenomenal. So we're going to try and contain him, obviously, one of our goals. They've got some young running backs, 3 sophomores, kind of the top of the roster there. And they also have Micah Bell, who maybe not a high overall, but the 97 speed will kill. Speed is really important in this game. It's important in college football in general, and I suspect that he's going to give us issues. Eli Stowers is also the junior tight end. 88 speed, 90 excel. I'm not sure how our middle linebackers are going to keep up with that. That's going to be a problem. Their line is decent, not perfect. Akili Robinson Jr. is going to have to step up. Their defensive line is pretty good. Their linebackers are okay, no real left outside linebackers, and they're hurt their top guy, so some 69s are definitely going to be starting. Not a great linebacking core. Corners are okay. I still think we're going to be able to take the top off the defense if we can kind of force them to commit to the run. But I've done enough talking. Let's get right into this one. So yeah, we're going to do this current away, the all whites. And I think I'm going to want to rock the all blacks again. And here we are at game time. We're actually going to receive the ball first. So that's going to be new. The all black jerseys are one of my favorites, and I don't want them to go underutilized in this series. I don't want it to be our main home uniforms, but if we're going up against all whites, I kind of feel like we need to. Highlighting Carter Wells, he's had a pretty good completion percentage. Obviously, the interceptions could use some work, but I'm not going to spend all day complaining about it. They're pressing up, so I'm going to let them, and we're going to try it over the top to Monroe. The corner plays great defense and just knocks that down. 2nd and 10, they're not really playing the box that heavily, so we're going to make them pay with the run. They actually play really good defense there and hold us to a gain of 1 on the play. Their record does not look very intimidating, but I don't think I should underestimate them. This is a pretty competent opponent if I've ever seen one. And we're going to just try and lob it over to Brick Wells. He hangs on to it, and he is loose to midfield. The second half of our season has really just been the emergence of Brick Wells, as we could not have passed that worse, only gaining 1 on the play. But yeah, Brick Wells has just been an incredible, incredible player for this team, especially in the second half of the year, as Xander Stone gets the first down on the screen. 1st and 10, we're going to work with what we've got here. Xander Stone kind of gets hung up on the catch, only gains 3 on the pass. Let's get funky. I like the end-around plays, and Kobe Monroe is a very, very good player. We're going to get him the ball. He's just going to cut upfield, gain 6 on the run. 3rd and 1, we're going to run a direct snap. I like the trickery there. I think it gets us the easiest path to a first down, which we do obviously get. New set of downs now, not going to give up on the run. It's been at least an effective diversion so far, and Xander Stone gets 3. 2nd and 7, they're not stacking the box, so we're going to actually try the draw, which doesn't look like it should work, but it actually does, and it gets us a first. 1st and 10, we're going to try something here, which is get sacked and lose a bunch of yards. It's kind of a garbage plan here on 2nd and 18, as we're going to throw that up to Brick Wells, who's all alone in the end zone, and he comes down with it. I mean, what a throw and catch. Wells to Wells, the connection is amazing. And there we are, 7-0 the score, and they're going to take it to the 24 on the kick return. 1st and 10. What's Vanderbilt going to do? They run a little RPO. Nobody is going the right way, and they get a first. 1st and 10. We're sending heat. They hand it off normally. Block set up great. We get a stiff arm, and they take it to our side of the field. 1st and 10. We've got everything set up here. They're going to try and go out route, which Overmaze at least stops the first down. 2nd and inches. Probably should pinch the line, but we don't. And, yeah, they're going to get the inches pretty easily. 1st and 10 again. What are we looking at here? Run play to that side of the field. McCricks was set up perfectly for the loss of 2. And that's a draw. Overmaze trying to make the tackle. Unfortunately, they get 6 on the run. 3rd and 6. Johnson back looking to throw. I mean, everything is pretty well covered, and Jefferson McGuire gets the sack. They're going to kick from the 36. This is no gimme, but they do get it through. 7-3 the score. Vanderbilt now on the board. We're just going to let them catch that one, knee it down, and take over at the 25. Just going to run this stick combination. Feel like Xander Stone gets out, and he gets the run. I mean, he tries the spin off. Doesn't go anywhere, but basically gets 25 on the catch and run. 1st and 10, looking. We're going to go underneath. Doss gets 8. 2nd and 2, going to run a little corner play. Monroe does not get it. It's tipped. It's now 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. We're going to go Wells over the middle, and he is old reliable. He hangs on, gets us a new set of downs. And that's going to be interesting. We're going to throw that up. Brick Wells cannot come down with it. And that is going to be the end of the first quarter. 7-3 the score. Again, tried to work on the scores being more realistic. Took the quarter size from 15 down to 12. So I think that's definitely playing a part. 2nd and 10, we took a shot. Don't really love the idea of taking shots back to back. So we're going to go and take a run of 4. 3rd and 6, looking to gain on the play. Going to go underneath to Monroe. And it's 4th and 1 at the 30. They want us to take the field goal. 4th and 1 just feels like a gimme. And it is a gimme, as Xander Stone almost gets a touchdown. I mean, he takes it to the 11. We'll take it. 1st and 10. They're running zone. We're going to try and get it to Worth. He can't hang on. All right. And we're going to get that right in there. Did Harrington catch that? Wow, what a throw and catch there. Wells to Harrington. Puts us on the board again. I mean, we're just having a fantastic game with Carter Wells to start. And that's a 14-3 lead. Like I said, Vanderbilt's got some players. No doubt they could beat us, but I believe we can win this game. They're 2-7 on the year for a reason, all right? Even we were able to come up with some upsets. Yeah, all right, they're going to hand it right off and lose 4. Kind of went right into what we were playing there. Don't want to let up, though. We're going to keep the box pretty well stacked. They are going to hand it off. I really thought that was going to be a play action. They get 6, but still going to be 3rd and 8. On this 3rd and 8, they are going to run a screen pass, and we get to the quarterback, forcing the punt. Akili Robinson Jr. has been incredible. Not a great punt. I mean, if we can set up every time in the other team's field, I mean, I'd do it, as we get a run of 3 there. I do like the bench switch formation here. Going to get it to Wayburn on the outside. I mean, that's a good catch and run. Gets us to the 26. 1st and 10. Don't want to do anything stupid here, but I do like that route. And Stone catches it, and he's in there. What a jump to celebrate. And, yeah, that's going to add to his Heisman case, I'll tell you that. We're now up 21-3. Didn't want to jinx it there, but, I mean, we're just taking over this game. Offense has exploded to come out the second quarter, as per usual. 1st and 10, they're back here in this single back formation. They seem to like it, and they're going to hand the ball off again. Doesn't go anywhere. One thing we've put a lot of emphasis on here is making sure that you can't run the ball on us. So we're going to try that and get outside. They try to pass it, but, yeah, the accuracy issues of the quarterback just prevent that from working, let's say. 3rd and 10. They're going to try this, go over the middle. They go over the middle underneath, and they just narrowly get the 1st down. I didn't want to give up the big play. I thought we could probably stop the underneath. Looking for a run here, and it is, and they get great blocks. I mean, wow. Running back has no problem getting a no set of downs. 1st and 10. What are they looking to do? They've got a screen underneath. We tackle it. 2nd and 10. Looking at the running back here, they're trying to dip it out to him, but Dane Golden knows how to tackle, okay? He can wrap up. Loss of 2 on the play. We'll move him over here on the 3rd and 12. Matches up better anyway. Oh, what a screen. They try and go outside. I knew they were going to have to cut in if they wanted to get the 1st. So, honestly, 1st and 10, let's just do that. Yeah, Kobe Monroe's got a step. I mean, they're just not going to touch him. Kobe Monroe has been just incredible over the top. He doesn't get it all the way to the end zone, but takes it to the 14. I mean, corners are just getting torched today. And we knew this was going to happen. We're looking at Kobe Monroe and Brick Wells. Going to have to go underneath. Luke Stone can't hang on. You know the drill. But just the fact that they continue to press up over and over again makes me feel pretty good about our chances. Over the middle, Wayburn. Ooh, big hit, but he hangs on. 3rd and 2. What are we looking at? Wow, Wells is wide open, and we get him the football. I mean, what a route by Brick Wells. Another Wells to Wells touchdown. But we take a 28-3 lead, and yeah, not trying to feel like the Atlanta Falcons here. 1st and 10 here. We're just looking to keep them on the ground, honestly. If they want to keep playing this way and keep trying the little stuff, as that takes us to the 2-minute warning, I'll let them have that every time. Johnson now alone in the empty on 2nd and 8. They run the pass over the middle, and he is looking to run, and we hold him to a gain of 1 on that run. They no huddle back to the empty set. Golden here guarding 45, who runs an interesting route, gets open, as does the receiver that actually gets the ball, and they're going to go right back to the hurry up. Let me tell you, this is a real interesting drive here. If Vanderbilt can get on the board, they do get ball at half, so they can at least make something happen here, and we are going to hit them for a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, they're now setting up in this formation, which we know that one pretty well. We're making tackles where we need to make tackles. That's really all you can do. They're going to eventually find somebody at this point. Using McCricks here on 1st down. We're going to see what they want to do. They do go to the curl route that's wide open for the 1st. Oh, boy. That was almost really bad as we actually force a knockout with Micah Overmaze there. Definitely was not expecting that to work out as well as it did. Now 2nd and 10. They've got a minute left. What are we looking at here? Oh, I thought we had the angle, and they're actually going to get a big gain to the 10. We're now talking about the end zone as a real possibility here. Vanderbilt moving quickly. Time is on their side, I would say, for the most part. Wow, we left that scrambling wide open, and Nate Johnson is going to just take it right into the end zone. Yeah, too much space and too much speed is a really bad combination, I'll say that. Definitely not the quarterback that you want to just give that entire side of the field open to. Something about this play just makes me feel like it's going to work. Rick? Oof, that was almost a touchdown, an interception. Definitely not a touchdown. Let me make that clear. If we get nothing out of this, we get nothing out of this, and that's a reality that I'm fine with. We're going to get nothing there. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. We're going to just go to Wayburn underneath. 4th and 2, they're going to call a timeout. We'll punt them the ball back. I mean, there's 20 seconds left on the clock. I really don't think they're going to be able to do anything here. 1st and 10, 18 seconds left. The running back is out there. He goes out of bounds, only gains 2. Honestly, I'll take that. If they're just going to get 2 yards, eat up some time, they obviously could make a play here, no doubt about it, as they do get to the 44-yard line and out of bounds. 9 seconds left. They do have a timeout, so it's very possible they could tack on 3 here. And let's try and have them not do that. That would be great. We sack them, and now there's only 5 seconds left. We're just going to go in prevent because at this point, after that play, they've only got 1 shot, and that's just going to be to hold it and throw it up. I'm just going to stay back here just to make sure. He gets hit as he throws. Ball doesn't even make it to the goal line, and that is the half. 28-10, the score going into the 3rd quarter. Obviously, we do have to give them the ball, but not allowing a field goal there is very huge. If you don't think about it, it's probably not that big of a deal, but if they get that field goal and then a touchdown on this drive, they are only 8 points away from tying the game. 1st and 10. It's going to be setting up a draw, and we actually stop them for a gain of 1. Considering all the blitzing we've been doing, you really would think that we'd be doing a lot better at stopping the run. We actually have had quite a hard time in this game, but yeah, we stopped that for a gain of 3 on the pass, and we're looking at a 3rd and 6. Here we are, 3rd and 6. Quarterback drops back, and drops back so far that he actually gets tackled at the 6-yard line. Jefferson McGuire making the play. A lot in the box, but I feel like we actually have a good chance of gaining yards on this run, and we do. We get 5 on the play. All right, 2nd and 5. Interesting look here. We're going to try and go to Wayburn. He actually gets it tipped. 3rd and 5. Looking interesting to Monroe. Gets to 4th and 1. They want us to punt it, but you know me. I mean, it's 4th and 1. All right, yeah, Luke Stone underneath. I mean, that's a big play. He's going to get tracked down, but he gets all the way to the 29. I mean, there's just no world where you're going to get me to not go for it on a 4th and 1, you know? Yeah, that's a horrible throw. That's the kind of throw that gets a team back into a game. Let's never make that throw again. We got nobody in pursuit. Wells is just going to watch him take that to the house. That is an unexcusable error on my part. Just trying to do too much, and there was really no need to. We'd obviously gotten a punt, forced to stop, and now they are way more in a game that they really don't deserve to be. 1st and 10. What are we looking at? Actually, kind of a dupe play. 2nd and 10. Didn't like the way that ended up setting up. I thought we were going to have more there. It's unfortunate that we don't. We're going to go underneath. Luke Stone gets a gain of 7. All right, once again, they're pressing up on the outside. It actually is working out for him, but we're going to get it to Stone, and he falls for the 1st down. And we're going to actually try this play-action play. Not sure if it's going to work. It probably won't. But Brick Wells just barely can't get it. 2nd and 10. What are we looking to do? Over the middle. Kobe Monroe almost gets the 1st. They have stacked the box for 3rd and inches, I won't lie, but I still have a good feeling about us getting an inch on the play, which we easily do. 1st and 10, going to be another one of these plays, and Harrington makes a catch that I honestly thought was going to be intercepted. I had already come to terms with the guilt of the situation, and also on that one, having another heart attack thinking that I just threw a pick. Obviously very happy that I did not throw a pick. But, yeah, we're going to have to go underneath. Doss actually drops it off of the... Wow, okay. Thought he was going to be able to actually make that work, but unfortunately he does not. Punt is going to be up, and they're going to fair catch it at the 16. For a game that was once 28-3, feels like it's a lot more in Vanderbilt's favor than it should be. Obviously, they've scored 14 unanswered, which is not something we're happy about by any means. And, yeah, we're lucky they didn't actually get that off. They had a wide open man downfield, but instead elected for the flat, which ends up incomplete. It's now 3rd and 10. A stop here would be nice. Let's say that. We're going to have somebody do that, and we stop them from gaining the 1st. Time to take time off the clock. That's what I think. And, yeah, Xander Stone is going to be the guy to get that done. He gets a 1st down and more to midfield. It just makes sense to get the clock burning. I mean, forcing a good burn-off is pretty important, even if we don't gain a ton. Just making sure that those seconds are ticking off is good enough for me. And, yeah, we're trying to get Xander Stone the ball, trying to get him some snaps. He doesn't gain much on either of those 2 runs, though, only getting a combined total of 2. Not sure if this is going to work out. We're going to try it to Stone. Block's actually set up real nice. Gets us to 4th and inches, but you know I'm not punting it. You should know this by now. I mean, it's 4th and inches. If we can't get an inch, then we don't deserve to have the ball. It's an inch. I mean, even that is going to get us an inch, you know, that ugly play. So, I mean, there's just no world where I'm going to not hand that ball off and just willingly give it up. Xander Stone obviously makes another huge run, and we're getting close to the end of the quarter here. 2nd and inches. Once again, they're trying to press up. I don't like it. We're going to get it over to Harrington, who's got the speed, and he gets into the end zone. I feel a lot more comfortable personally with this 18-point lead, especially an 18-point lead going into the 4th quarter. This game is still very easily blowable if you catch my drift. We're going to knock that ball out on 2nd and 10. Facing probably the last play of the quarter here, and if we can get, you know, a good result on this play, we can set ourselves up very well. Yeah, we're going to just... Oh, man. Yeah. They get 5 on the play. That'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter here. 35-17. It's kind of been a back-and-forth game. We took a 28-3 lead pretty early on, and since then, it's been quite an interesting game. All right, 3rd and 5. Big play here. They're trying to go over the middle. Not sure what we want to do, but the pressure gets there. Takes him down for a sack. Rio Bush on the play. What did I say about him? Once again, our goal here is just trying to take time off the clock, and we get a nice little run of 2 there with Xander Stone. I know they're trying to stack the box, but I'm trying to take time off the clock, so we'll take those little yards. Now 3rd and 6. 3rd and 6. Interesting play here, and the pressure gets there. They are going to force us to punt. I'm not going for it on 4th and 16, not from our own 36. That is not a good punt at all. It's going to bounce a ways, except he actually picks it up. Yeah, pretty bad punt. Probably went for about 20 yards. First and 10. What are they going to do? Try and throw it right to the guy I'm supposed to be guarding. We trip him up and bring him down at the 31. Yeah, we're going to hand off. Nope, it's a play action fake. Interesting. And throws a dart. I mean, wow, what a throw. Into double coverage. Junior Sherrill makes an insane grab and puts Vandy back on the board. We're only up 11. I mean, a field goal could put it to a 14-point game, so I think honestly that's what we should do. Take some time off the clock and put 3 on the board. First and 10, we're going to take an easy pass, try and just dump it off to Xander Stone. Blocks don't set up great, honestly. We get a gain of 4 on the play. Xander Stone has a high risk of injury, but we need him out there. We're going to put some wear and tear on this, and yeah, we get a gain of 2 on the run. I know he's at a high risk of injury, but honestly, so am I, you know. Xander Stone is going to go up the field and get the first down. We're trying to take time off the clock, so let's run the friggin' ball, you know. 7 yards to Xander Stone. I'll take it. 2nd and 3, Barry Slick now out there in the backfield. We're going to send him in motion, run him a little screen. Blocks do not set up well at all. We actually lose 1 on the play. All right, 3rd and 4. Looking interesting here. They're actually going to leave Brick Wells wide open. Not sure why you would do that. He's great after the run. They're pressing up, but I think the blocks can hold and we can get to the outside, which everything works out as you want, and we get 5 on the run. Here we are, 2nd and 5, looking to run again, and we lose 3. Pretty backwards. Not what you want, I will admit that. 3rd and 8. Kobe Monroe looking good, but so's Finn Harrington. No need to really do anything crazy there. Just try and get the catch, and we get the first down. We're looking at 4 minutes left in the game. We've taken a ton of time off the clock here. Give another carry to Xander Stone. Gets 5. And Xander Stone out there again. Honestly, box is so bad that I think this RPO is going to work out. It doesn't really. No gain on the play, but again, still keeping the ball on the ground, still burning time off the clock. And honestly, if we just set up and take our field goal here, I'll be more than happy. But Xander Stone's not happy with that. He wants a first down, and he gets it. Last play before the 2-minute warning here. 1st and 10. Going to get funky. Little handoff to Finn Harrington. Goes for a loss of 2. And like I said, that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. 11-point lead here. The silly guy in me wants to just zing it for a touchdown, but Xander Stone has been having too good of a game. Gains 8 on the run after a failed first down. We've actually got a pretty manageable 3rd and 4 here. Just going to run it to the right, and yeah, Xander Stone is able to get the first down again. Xander Stone has just taken over this game. He actually breaks the tackle there. He's not going to get into the end zone, but he's going to burn their final timeout and take it to the 1. And here we are on another run play. Xander Stone fights into the end zone. Again, another touchdown to add to his already impressive season. And yeah, that all but seals the game, giving us a, what is that called? Palindrome. It's a palindrome score, 24-42. That touchdown by Xander Stone all but sealing this game, as they're going to try and throw it out wide, and he gets out of bounds and makes a fantastic grab to the 39. 1st and 10 now. What are they looking to do? They're throwing multiple routes outside, and he breaks the tackle and gets 3. Obviously, they're working with no timeouts. I mean, this game is essentially all but over. If we get the ball back, we can just nail it out. So we'll see what we've got here. Obviously, would have been nice if we could have wrapped that up there. And they get back to the line. 10 seconds. Not too shabby. It's obviously going to be a hard one. But yeah, Dane Golden with the user pick. Huge play there. But that's going to seal this one. Huge game. Huge win. Obviously, Vanderbilt was no slouch. They played us pretty hard. Final score doesn't look like this was a close game. And yeah, we were up 28-3, but they challenged us. They came back 14 unanswered, tried to get back into the game, but we ended up shutting the door and won another impressive game against a clearly superior opponent. As we saw, Carter Wells was the player of the game, and he deserves it. 42 passes, 29 completions, 367 yards, good for 69. Nice completion percentage. 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. Xander Stone went off, did his thing, still had 25 attempts on the ground, 115 yards total. Again, yards per carry is not crazy, Does have a touchdown on the ground and in the air. So nice to see that from him. He's led the team in carries and receiving touches for a while now, but Brick Wells really got us into this game, and Finn Harrington also had 2 touchdowns. Him and Wells both contributed a ton. It's rough that they're both seniors because they've made a huge impact this year. Kobe Monroe also had some pretty awesome catches. Wayburn and Stone, dependable tight ends. Nothing crazy from them, though. Obviously, Dane Golden has the game-winning interception, but Jefferson McGuire with 4 TFLs, 2.5 sacks. I mean, hell of a game from him. TFL and a sack from Rio Bush. Actually, someone should let me know in the comments if a TFL and a sack are the same thing, like if a sack counts to your total TFL numbers, because I would imagine that it would, right? If you had, like, a TFL isn't always a sack, but a sack is always a TFL, rectangle square situation. So yeah, let me know. Keeley had a sack and a TFL, and Dusty Smith contributed as well. Nate Johnson was held pretty contained. I mean, he did have a pretty good completion percentage, but he didn't throw it all over us or anything. He did have an interception, obviously, to end the game, but he had a pretty solid game. I think Cedric Alexander did great. We just kind of kept the ball out of Vanderbilt's hands. They didn't really have all that much time with it, and, when you don't really have a ton of time with the ball, there's not much you're going to be able to do with it. We didn't really have any one receiver kill us. Everybody kind of did their thing, but at the end of the day, we got to the quarterback pretty well, played against some mediocre O-linemen, but yeah, we did our thing. We do level up there, which is pretty cool. I'm going to take us into the next week. Again, I'm not sure any commitments are going to pop up. Not sure that any of our players are really ready to commit, but yeah, we're in a bye week, and Jefferson McGuire wins the Defensive Player of the Week for the American Conference, so that's pretty cool, as well as he was National Defensive Player of the Week, 2 sacks and 4 TFLs. Hey, hell of a game. I'm stuck because I want to increase weekly hours for D-line and secondary, but I think I'm going to do it for secondary because that's going to get us free safeties and strong safeties and corners. Did we get any new commits? We did not, although Garrett Went is essentially ready to commit today. Robert Stick is pretty close to committing. We've got big leads on all these guys, except for Brian Montanez, who I just freed up some points. Again, with Doug Adai, these 15 points are kind of just a placeholder. If we don't get him, it's really not the end of the world. We have a pretty big lead for him. And with Coco Ringo, we moved up pretty significantly. So I want to throw the 15 to max out Brian Montanez. I think he was going to be a really great safety. I love seeing the gem, but the 89 speed, 91 excel, I mean, he could start year 1 for us. So to throw some on him, try and beat out, I believe that's Washington, probably the Washington Huskies that are pursuing him. But yeah, everybody else is pretty good. I mean, if we get Garrett Went, I mean, that's 2 huge, talented offensive line players added to the roster. And yeah, let's get right into the next week. We've won 7 games on the year now, 7-4, so officially bowl eligible if it wasn't already confirmed with our 6th win. And we do take on UConn in the rivalry matchup. Both of us are 4-3 in our respective conferences. And yes, Garrett Went does commit to the program. The 6'5" right tackle, 89 strength, 81 run block power, pass block power is an 80. Obviously, the run block and pass block attributes are pretty raw, but a really good power tackle that could shift inside to guard, depending on what we want to do. So that frees up some points. We've got some big leads here on most of these guys. I honestly would like to schedule a visit with Brian Montanez, but there's no time for that. We'll have to get that in the off season. Looking at team needs, it says we need a lot of running backs, but we've got a sophomore, 2 freshmen, and a junior and a senior. I don't really think that we need 2 running backs. We already have 1 targeted. It's really just about getting quality players, and I think if we could get some linemen, that's really where we're looking. We've already got interior D tackle, so let's look at some linemen that we could maybe try and recruit here. JUCO sophomore, didn't want that on the roster, so let's look here at Kyle Zimmons. Broken gem, he sucks. Sayonara, didn't know ya. Run stopper Charles Sapp is an average player. Definitely looks more like a D tackle, which I'm fine with. And Casey Chance is a gem. I mean, that's exactly what we needed. We'll throw a scholarship on him. That's fantastic. I want points on him as soon as possible. Did not mean to back out there. We obviously have used all of our recruiting hours. Yeah, I really don't care about Doug Adai, like, at all. Sorry, Doug. Maybe we could take this off. Throw 5 on him. How do we get 25 on him? I don't think we do. I mean, we need to get on Casey Chance's board here. Ringo, we are at 50. We could take that down. And instead of sending the house, we could do contact family and friends, which would at least kind of keep us in the lead for him. I just feel like Chance, we need to get hours on him ASAP. So let's take 5 off Bruce, just because we have a ton of tackles that we're like in the mega lead on. Just temporarily taking 5 off of them. I don't feel like there's a ton of harm there. Don't want to take anything off Montanez. But yeah, Draper too. Like, do we really need that many on him? I think throwing the house at Casey Chance would be perfect. And then putting 15 on a die would also be great. So yeah, in the next episode, we're going to take on UConn. We are also pretty evenly matched with them. This is a rivalry game, if you didn't know. Because this is an imported dynasty, we did have to replace an existing team. We are Portland, Maine. So with the fact that we were Maine, I think we just decided to take over UMass. In taking over UMass, we took over their rivalries with BC and UConn, but I also feel like those rivalries just kind of make sense. I know UConn is an independent, but I took them and I put them in the American Conference. Somehow they're actually ahead of us in the conference standings. They're 4-7 on the year, meaning every of the 4 games that they played out of conference, they've lost. But because we have the same conference record, for whatever reason, they have the tiebreaker. Obviously, if we win, we could jump up to the 6th spot in the conference standings, maybe even higher if North Texas loses or plays a non-conference game. But yeah, we'll take care of that in the next episode. That is going to be the season finale, other than a bowl game. But yeah, I'll see you when we get there. Take care.